Hi guys, welcome to today's video, and today I will be doing a Winx Club, Winx Saga, Fate, Winx Saga, whatever they decided for the name. We are going to be doing a review for today. This is one of my very first reviews, so I want to apologize in advance if it's a little wonky, a little messed up, because again, this is my first time reviewing, and I do want to do more reviews on certain shows in the future, but considering that this particular show, Winx Club, was my childhood, and I told myself I was going to watch it, and I was like, why not do a review? However, with today, I will be having a special guest with me today, which is one of my good friends from TikTok. Her name is Etherly, so she will be in today's video. We both took notes down while watching the show, and we decided I asked her if she wanted to do this review with me so we could do it together. Since both of us are really big Winx fans, and you know, I thought this would be a good opportunity to see, like, not just my opinion on the show and stuff like that, but also someone else's opinion on the matter. And we will be going over, obviously, likes, dislikes, and then our overall like sole opinions on the show. And a lot of people, I'm sure, are expecting me to slander the show, but I'm here to let you know it's probably not going to go like that. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video. As I said earlier, I have a nice little special guest with me here today. This is my lovely friend Etherly from TikTok, and she will be doing the review with me today. I thought it would be fun to have a nice second opinion, so that way we're not solely focusing on mine, because a lot of people do take mine and many other people's opinions and run with them without forming their own. But today, like I said, we will be going over likes, dislikes, and our overall opinion on the show, and trust me when I tell you, we got a lot to say. Today's video won't be that long, as some of my usual videos are like 45 minutes, but that's the usual walkthroughs. But I have a nice little 30-minute timer set, so that way I don't make the video too long, because Lord knows I can go on tangents for God knows how long. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, we'll be reviewing the Winx Saga today. A nice little adaptation or form of an adaptation of the Winx Club we all know and love that used to be on 4Kids, and unless you watched the other ride, English and whatever. And I guess we'll start off with like characters, because God, we got a lot to say on those. And I guess we can start off with the Winx themselves. As a whole, obviously we'll like talk about them here and there, and also just throw in there, yes, there will be spoilers, so please be wary of that. I also have that in the title, that this is a spoiler review, so if you don't want any spoilers, I advise you to go watch it yourself, then come back to this video. Or if you don't care about spoilers, thank you for staying. But let's get into it. I guess we can start off with, let's say, Bloom. Yeah. And I want to start off by saying I do like that she did not have the happy-go-lucky life that, you know, she had in the show, where it's like she had a perfect relationship with her mom and dad, a perfect transition into Althea College. She figured out her powers basically like that in the animated series. However, in the live action, she did not, like, all of that was not the case. She had obviously troubles at home. She did not have an easy transition into Althea. She was struggling with her powers, as I feel like in the animated film, in the animated series, she should have. But I like that she had like that struggle. Like, a lot of people can relate to struggling when moving into a new thing. In her case, it's magic. But either or it goes, you know, her transitioning into this new life, it wasn't like a smooth transition, so to speak.
I get that. I feel like I don't know which Bloom I prefer more, but I do get what you're saying about like her backstory being a little different, and it was like interesting to see like that change, because you know a lot of people were just upset because it looks so different. But you know, some of the changes are really interesting, and Bloom's backstory is one of them. What I will say about Bloom is that even though she didn't have that like very skippy, you know, happy-go-lucky like vibe, like you said, she's still like in the way that when you watch the cartoon, you were like, Bloom, girl, what's what's going on, sis?
Most definitely.
What are you doing? When you're watching the live action, you're still looking at Bloom and you're like, okay, be blessed. But it's strange, like she feels like she feels like the same despite all the differences that there is from from the animated version, like she still kind of like she still kind of feels the same.
She does. Now, who's next on the list that I wrote down? Terra. Let's get into our queen. A lot of people, including myself, I was a little off-put that my girl Flora was kind of replaced, but then, you know, found out it's Flora's cousin, Terra. Still didn't sit right with me that she was a white woman. But, however, she made up for it. Like, if you watch the series, Terra, you know, she obviously goes through, like, body troubles. Like, you know, she's very self-conscious about herself. Some people will make fun of that. Riven, however, she handled that. She handled that. Like, you know, Riven did something to her, you know, said what he said to her, and she was like, no, I'm not having it. I've already had a shitty day. Stella's already fucked with me. Honey, you're about to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Choked his ass out. I'm not gonna say he didn't fuck with her again after that, but like he kind of didn't. Like they never had any more altercations because she checked him and that was that. However, one thing I do want to say about her, I feel like out of everyone we're gonna discuss today, her and Musa had the most character development from what we saw. Because she, towards the end, like at the beginning, you see her as this timid, really doesn't. She kind of keeps her feelings in, but like, which is why I really liked her and Musa's friendship, and why her and Musa's friendship made like the most of sense. Because she's used to hiding her emotions, but she can't do that with Musa because, you know, Musa's an empath. She can feel all of that and then some.
Yeah. You took most of the points. Like, I know we wanted Flora so bad.
Yes.
And I was confused. I was like, what was the reason of erasing Flora? Like, what was the reason? What purpose did it serve to remove Flora from this narrative? But I don't know, like, what type of personality they would have given Flora. If they gave Flora Terra's personality, like, I don't think it would have sat right with my spirit, because it's very different than what like Flora is. So based on the personality, like they gave Terra, like I really grew to like love Terra. Like
yes,
out of all of the wings, Terra had most of the brain cells.
I swear I thought I was gonna dislike her. I swear to God I thought I was, but they...
Yeah, it was just like a little off-putting, you know, we have our little head cannons. We're like, where's our Latina queen, Flora?
Period.
They gave us a white woman named Terra, and I said... But you know what? Terra came and did what she had to do.
She did. She served, and like I said, like out of all of the Winx, she's my favorite. I hate to say it, like Terra is my favorite in this whole new series. I was pushing so hard for myself to feel like I would not like her, but I was clearly proven wrong when they showed how relatable she is and like her character in general. I was like, yes, this is okay. I am fine with you guys not really replacing Flora, but, you know, putting this character in this situation and not giving us Flora. Because,
you know what?
It
would, you know what? I very much so like that even though they didn't have Flora, you know, they had the little nod to Flora. Because of
you know, a little nod. Apparently, you know, they said Flora is supposed to make an appearance. Flora and Tecna is supposed to make an appearance in season 2. Can't wait to see how that works out. I mean, because, you know, if Terra's like this and they did her really nicely, I'm hoping that they do my girl Flora correctly. I hope.
You know what? If Tecna is coming, justice for Timmy. Justice for Timmy.
Yes, because, you know, Timmy wasn't here either. A lot of the specialists, the only really specialists who we knew was Sky and Riven, who we'll get into later. Especially Riven.
Brandon. You never know.
Maybe. I hope. But we're going to get into Riven and Sky later. Especially Riven, because Riven is another story. I guess we can get into Aisha. Her. Now here's where it comes in, where it's like I said I was not gonna like Terra, but I like Terra, and I was going in expecting to love Aisha, but I didn't. I'm not gonna say she was an ass kisser. She wasn't, because like I had to correct somebody in my comment section. They were like, "Oh, they made Aisha a teacher's pet." I was like, "No. She was spying on Headmistress Farragonda for Bloom, because Bloom wanted to find out some things, and then people were saying, oh, she did what she did at the end. I was like, let's be real. Nobody in that show was really necessarily completely in the wrong, because Bloom just wanted answers, so she was doing what she thought was right. Aisha was trying to protect her friends, so she's doing what she thought was right. Everyone had their own reasonings for doing everything. However, the main reasons why I didn't like Aisha was because of the big personality change she had. Like, I don't want to say she had like that character had like a pole up her ass, but like she kind of did. Like, she was more of a stickler to the rules. Like, Stella was trying to teach Bloom a different way on how to handle her powers, and Aisha was like, no, that's not the way you should do it. Da-da-da-da. You can't always rely on anger. But I was just like, you told Bloom to rely on emotions. I'm like, anger is an emotion. She shouldn't solely rely on that one, but that's not necessarily to say she shouldn't use that emotion. Like, there are some people who can use their emotion, anger, to their advantage. Like, it's not that big. I didn't see it as a big of a deal, but, you know, I'm no fairy. But, you know, that's how that goes. But I'll let Lena say her piece, and then we gotta talk one more thing about Aisha.
Yeah, like, I just feel like Aisha, because Aisha's all of their personalities were deeply rooted, originally deeply rooted, and you know the element that you know that their magic was. You know, Bloom was strong-headed and like kind of like a tiny bit of a wild card because her element was fire, so she was quite literally fiery. Terra / Flora were both really like calm and like sweet people, you know, like because they have a connection with nature. Aisha was more, you know, not super like laid back, but like more flowy and more just like, okay, we can figure this out, and you know, da 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 da. Because her element is water, she's like usually like just going with the flow, you know, da 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 da. But this Aisha, she's a little bit, I'm not snobby, like a little bit
uptight.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. A little too much into that servitude type beat. It was strange. Also, like I wasn't expecting, like, well, I knew that we were getting Aisha from like the previews, but it was just I just wasn't like expecting for them to like give us Aisha off rip, because we didn't get Aisha off rip.
We didn't. She came a season later.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, like cool, you know, throw the black character in early, you know, I'm not mad. But it was just like it's just like a little like strange. Yeah, it's just like I'm trying to, you know, we're very much still trying to.
I mean, hey,
keep the cartoon and this separate, but there's like a couple of things when it comes to like their character, like who they are as a person, that it's hard not to reference that because it is fake. So it's hard to not see that in terms of their character.
Yeah, and I feel like they gave us Aisha because they were like, you know, we already got rid of 2 POC characters and changed them. Let's not do it again. Let's throw Aisha in there. I'm just gonna say that's what they did. Because honey, if they wouldn't have gave us Aisha, but they took out Flora and kind of whitewashed Musa, I would have been a little peed. But the other thing before we move on to the next character that we would like to talk about with Aisha is episodes 4 and 5's hair. I won't forgive. And like I'll have it somewhere on screen if you do not know what I'm talking about. But like, I'm not gonna blame the actress whatsoever. However, I do not appreciate how they did Aisha's hair in those 2 things. Cause it's like, it's one thing to be like, oh, a natural look with your hair, you know, it's natural, no added extensions, none of that. However, they braided her hair up front and it just looked like they sat a wig halfway on her head and then gave it a ponytail in the back. I do not know who decided that was a good idea, but they should be fired. Fired, docked pay, whatever. they need to get it, like, to get their shit together, because that was not okay. Because everyone else's hair looked good to me throughout the entire series, or at least decent. But like, they did Aisha so dirty for those 2 episodes. I'm not gonna lie. Her hair in the beginning, loved it. Her hair at the end, loved it. I didn't really see a need to change, considering like nobody else really changed their hairstyles other than Aisha. But I was just like, what was the reasonings of having her hair look busted? I did not understand.
Yeah, it's just like the hairstyles that she like had during those episodes, like that one where it's like braided and then it was like the puff and then the ponytail.
Yeah.
Like I've seen that like hairstyle before, but the issue derives from the 4C in the front, 2A in the back.
It was a mess.
Natural hair with the braids going back, and then she had like Dante said, like kind of like a wig thing that was like a very silky, like straight texture, and it was like very strange to see. Like I don't know, like maybe like if it was like silky in the front and like messy in the back, I could have been like, okay, she goes swimming 2 times a day, like that's what
she does.
But it just it wasn't making any sense. And in that one scene when she was swimming, she went under the water. Her hair came up and she was dry, and I was really confused. But
it's TV magic. Oh, but I don't know. It's just they didn't have to do her like that, or they could have just kept her hair the same throughout the entire thing. If they planned on doing that, you might as well have just kept her hair the same. Cause oh Jesus, I'm just never gonna get over it. Cause it was so shocking to see her. We had to pause the show and everything to like analyze what was going on screen, because it was just a lot going on with her hair, and I just didn't appreciate it. But anyways, moving on to Miss Stella. Not gonna lie. Hold on, I actually wrote something down because obviously I thought she was a bit of a bitch at the beginning. Like, she was mean for no, usual mean for no reason. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kinda, not gonna say I kinda liked that her and Bloom were kind of like button head, even though like it looked like a one-sided argument, because like, honey, Bloom was kind of unfazed. Stella was hella pressed for no reason. But I do feel as if she did have a good amount of character development, because she was so closed off because of her mom and stuff like that. She didn't want to disappoint her mother. Well, not really disappoint. I think she more so was scared of her mother, honestly. I don't see why, because honey, her mother was kind of a basic bitch. But that's nor here nor there. But but like, she did have a good amount of character development at the end, because she didn't really like Bloom hanging out with Sky, because her and Sky used to date. She was jealous. Then you find out her little dark secret, how the last person who was talking to Sky, she blinded them by accident because she was angry, which is, I think that I took that as one of the reasons why she asked Bloom, or told Bloom, that she should tap into her anger emotions, because obviously her blinding someone, that must have taken like a lot of magic and a lot of light in her case. So I assume she was like, oh, that worked for me for that one moment in time, but it doesn't work for her. But it kind of also explained why she was like so, like, she held back her magic, so to speak. Like, she wasn't really using big magic, or like when the burned one showed up and she was supposed to stop it, or she tried to stop it, she couldn't use her magic because I would assume she was scared of her own powers, so to speak.
Are you done?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So Stella, like in the beginning, I was like, why is Stella acting like this? Like, girl, take a chill pill, baby.
Literally.
Tripping over a first year, and this is supposed to be your second time around, girl. Stop your cookies up.
I had Kenny, she got held back.
She did. I think she did.
Yeah, I mean,
because of the incident, she
yeah, I'm about to say, you blind someone, honey, I would think you would get held back.
Yeah, she did. And so it's like, what am I trying to say? Yeah, she's just very like rude. I did like her character, like the change and like the understanding of she went through like this traumatic thing, and like you said, like about her magic. Her mother taught her to channel her magic through anger.
Yeah.
Yeah, through anger, and so that's like what she was teaching. She was like, do it, get mad. I was like, ooh. But like that, it doesn't really like excuse like some of the things she did.
Most definitely.
Like first and foremost, like you said, her mom was underwhelming. You know,
Very. I was expecting so much more. For, not really like from her character, just like her entrance, her to like be, because you know she's the queen of the entire realm. So like when she walked out of that limo, I was expecting like blonde, flowy hair,
yeah,
diamonds. You know she had them. She
she's
had them
the
$2 diamonds on her heels. I was like,
yes,
girl.
she's supposed to be, you know, the queen, and her, you know, her element is supposed to be light. So
Yeah. I was expecting
the
someone
thing,
intimidating.
the thing, because you know, your hair when it's exposed to sun, like you get like your hair sun bleaching.
Yes.
So like you expect her to be like this bombshell, like blonde, like the new, you know, the blonde white ladies you see on TV for the
Yeah.
news. That's
Yes.
that's that's what she was supposed to be giving, and she was giving Professor McGonagall. Um, she,
Go on.
she was who's the other lady from Harry Potter, the one who came taking over? She was giving me very much her.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. I forget her name, but I
Yeah,
know somebody will correct you in the comment section. But I know who you're talking about.
yeah. She was giving very much her, and it just wasn't doing it. And like it got to a point like for Stella where it was like, okay, like I understand, like your mom is like horrible. Like she literally pulled that lady from Harry Potter. Like
Came, took
she,
over.
she took she took the whole recipe.
She
She
moved
said,
real quick too. Like she
"Look at
got.
her, her bar for bar. I'm taking it all." But like Stella, all I have to say about Stella is at the end, me and Stella were cool. It was just like it just didn't excuse some of the naughtier
BS.
things she did. Like she set Bloom up for failure.
Like telling like how she told Riven that what's her name was a changeling, knowing that Riven's big mouth ass was going to tell everybody and
Yeah,
their mama.
yeah. Stella just moved too stinky for me. Until the end, she you know made up for. She didn't make up for it. She was just a better person.
Yeah, she got a lot to do before she makes up for half the shit she did during the season. Which makes me excited for season 2 because that's a lot of character development that we got to push in.
Not this Bakugo type beat. Anyways,
Girl. Okay, who do we do? We got Bloom. Aisha. Last one of the girls is another one of my personal favorites for many reasons is Musa.
Musa.
And besides the fact that she was like, let's start the fact that she was whitewashed. We all know it. We all know she was whitewashed. A lot of us don't like it. I personally don't like it. However, I will say they did the character very well. It's like Terra. I was mad that she was whitewashed. However, you know, Terra's character and character development was really good. Now, the reasons why a lot of people did not like the fact that Musa's power kind of changed. Like, she's no longer the fairy of music. She's the fairy of empathy. Empathy. She's just an empath. I'm just gonna say a mind fairy. There we go. That's the word. A mind fairy, and hers is, you know, she's an empath. You know, she can feel everyone's emotions around her. The reasons why she throws her headphones on is so that way she can listen to her music and solely focus on her own emotions. Because when they're off, she can feel all the emotions around her. But like as time goes on throughout the series, a little bit, she kind of learns to focus on one person's emotions at a time, and her power doesn't take control. And one thing I liked about her, because at first I didn't really understand why she felt so bad about feeling everyone's emotions, but then, you know, she started going into saying she feels people's emotions 20 times worse. Like if someone has anxiety, she feels that 10 times worse. And then, you know, towards the end, when what's his name? What was the boy's name? Sam? Yeah, like when Sam was kind of like on his deathbed about to die and the infection was killing him, the only way to like slow the infection down was for like him to calm down, and the only way for him to do that was for Musa to, you know, take his hand and share in his pain and share in his emotions. And that's when she reveals that when her mother died, you know, she felt all of that. And that's, you know, that kind of gave the indication as to why, this is why I don't really, this is why I have my headphones in all the time. You know, I don't want to really feel another person that I love basically, you know, die again. Because even if Musa was in the, I would assume, even if she was in the other room while her mother was dying, I'm going to assume she still felt it. but you know, that's one of the main reasons why I loved her character, because it made so much. Her powers made so much more sense. Like, it makes me wish the animated Musa's shit was an empath.
Yeah, pretty much like what you said. I think that the transition from, you know, I think like a lot of people might be like very confused on like how they got from music to empath, but personally, it wasn't really like that big a change, because first and foremost, a couple of times we see her powers manifest like as music, like when she's feeling someone's emotions. Like they were smart with that score. They were smart with that score. Like when she's feeling someone's emotions, you know, the score, the background music would change. So it would manifest through music, for one, and two, music is very much like a way to share emotions. So I can see how they got from point A to point B, because you write music, people write music and make music to make others feel. So I can definitely see how they made that distinction. Other than that, she was pretty good. She was very solid in her connection to the music that we know and love. The problem was that she was Caucasian, I think.
Well, she was also the fact she just wasn't Asian. I don't know what the race and nationality is of the actual actress, but it's just like she wasn't Asian, or if she is Asian, it's kind of hard to tell.
Because she very well could have. We we'll find out. We'll probably answer that question for ourselves.
Yeah.
She could be South Asian or like West Asian or like anywhere else, but I think like the animated Musa was made out to be like East Asian. And
I was about to say, because somebody told me that she was East Asian.
Southeast Asian or just like East Asian, and that's what like a lot of us know Musa to be, and we're expecting her to be, and she just wasn't that. There are a lot of very good East Asian actresses out there. I don't know what happened there, but that's really the only problem with Musa.
Yeah, another thing I would just want to point out before we move on to like Sky and Riven, I do want to say like the one thing that I did obviously like is how she wasn't with Riven, and she found love in God bless indeed, and like she found love in someone else, because like I said, we're gonna get into Riven, and like he is a little bit more toxic than he was in the show, and I especially like learning about how she feels other people's emotions and stuff like that. I do not think she needed that negativity. She did not need that negativity in her life. Like, she already didn't need the negativity in the animated series.
They did that. They didn't put her with Riven, because if she had to feel Riven's emotions, she would be done for.
Yeah, because I was just like, thank God she found someone else, because, honey, it was a mess.
Anyway, Stan that.
He was a king. And now on to our next low character is Sky. Alright, Miss Simp. Anyways. I think the actor's cute. I don't care. I'm no shame in my game. But I have a love-hate relationship with the live-action Sky. I did like him, but at the same time, I don't like how it took him so long to check Stella, because like I understand they have history and stuff like that, and like they're really good, or check his friends in general, because like he knows how Riven is, and like even if you feel like you're not going to be able to get through to certain people like Stella or Sky, like I know he said something to Stella towards the end, but it's just like I feel like a lot of things could have been prevented, or at least like somewhat under control if he would have checked them. Like, if he would have checked Riven with Beatrix before he got so deep-rooted in a relationship with Beatrix, I feel like maybe Riven would have listened to Sky, so to speak, and maybe wouldn't have freaking unparalyzed her and did all that other shit. And maybe if he would have spoke to Stella, possibly it would have steered her away from giving, you know, Bloom the transporter ring, especially with Sky knowing exactly what happened to the last person that spoke to him. Like, you would have thought he would have at least tried. I mean, he kind of did, but like, I just wish he would have tried harder, you know, so to speak. But I guess I could say like I'm kind of 50-50 with Sky's character. I think that's the route that I'm going with. Like, I didn't not like him, but I didn't like him either.
I very unbiasedly will say, I think Sky was a little sweetheart. He was a little sweetheart.
He was.
He did what he said. You know, I hate to keep doing like the comparisons, but I think that's
fine.
like
It's gonna happen
to like make it make sense. I think.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, so he is very much so, you know, the traditional Sky we knew, except short hair and not long hair. That's the only difference. I think his relationship, in terms of like his relationship with Riven, it feels like they took his relationship with Brandon, removed Brandon from the equation.
Yes.
And then their relationship and Riven's relationship, because Sky and Riven are very close in this, but also in the same way the Sky and Riven were like beefing in the cartoon, they beefing in the live action.
Yeah, but the only difference is like they were close and grew up with each other and stuff.
Yeah, so it was a little.
Anyways, guys, sorry about that. Somebody joined the Zoom by accident. Continue.
Like I was saying, yeah, like it's very like interesting to see like these combined dynamics of like the one that he had with Brandon and his choked for a second. I don't know what happened. And the like Timichus? I think that's the word I'm looking for. I think that's the word. I might have made it up. Like relationship with like Riven that he had were like they like real brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they're like genuine brothers, like real life brothers, like where you see on TV they're kind of just like, oh, we have small fights but we're still close, but them having these large like back and forths where it was cool to see. His relationship with Stella, he should have checked her. He could have checked her more. It's just Sky was a little soft. He's just a little soft.
Just a little bit.
Love that baby.
No.
Love that baby. But he was a little soft.
Now
he wouldn't tell later that they got his order wrong.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He would eat it.
He'd be like, this is fine.
Yup. Now let's get into Riven. Riven. Look, I thought he was cute, and I hated it because his character, he knew he was cute, which I hate. I just don't understand. I was like, I get it, you're cute. You don't gotta be walking around like Unibomb.com. Ugh. But however, I do think out of all the characters, Riven stayed true to his, like, that was the one character. Like, other people kind of stayed true with certain aspects, but I feel like he stayed true to his the actual animated character and then some. Like, he was smoking weed out off campus, drinking, trying to get other people to drink. He was a little bit homophobic that one time, but that's not here nor there. I don't appreciate him sending the flower gift to the one gay character that they gave us. But
Is that flower gift?
Remember, he was Dane was helping Terra with the plants, and he was like, he told Riven that he was, helping him with the plants and stuff, and then Riven responded by sending him a flower gif via text message of someone picking flowers, and it was supposed to be homophobic.
Oh.
Because men don't pick flowers. But that's nor here nor there. I don't want to talk about it.
There are most.
Literally. He was.
Most guardians are men.
Riven was literally, he is the type, I feel like this character, the way Riven was in live action, he's the type of person where if I wore a dress, he would look at me and be like, men don't wear dresses. He would. And I hate it. Oh, Jesus, but.
Giving me very much, that's not manly.
Very much, very much. Does your father know about that? Just a mess. But I guess I could say I was kind of hoping for character development. I can see why we didn't get it, and I feel as if we'll get it in the next season. Because right now, I guess, because you know, Riven, Sky kind of not really runs the specialist, but like under the teacher, there's Sky. And then you could say there's Riven. However, because, you know, Miss Thang, what is her name? The one that Bloom brought back. Rosalind. Yeah, you know, Rosalind took over. Sky's dad came back, and I don't know what Stella's mother's role she's gonna play at the school since Rosalind is headmistress. And from my understanding, Terra's dad is kind of in the clear because he's not gonna like do anything to jeopardize his kids, which makes the most sense. Like, I'm not gonna knock him for that. I mean, I feel like he should stand up, but however, I'm sure he can't do that shit by himself. But you know, I feel like now Riven is kind of, you know, I guess you could say top dog with the specialist now, because you know Sky's dad didn't really spend a lot of time with him, as we saw in the flashbacks. He spent a lot of time fighting and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I feel like that would be the case, and I feel as if, like next season, I would feel like Sky would try to. I know Sky's gonna try to focal point more on trying to get old dude out of jail or whatever they're gonna do with him. You know who I'm talking about, right? The old leader, yeah, the one that killed Sky's dad. But I feel as if he's gonna like try to focus on that, trying to get his dad to change his mind. Things like that, while they, I guess, try to take, I guess you could say, so to speak, take the school back or whatever the case may be. Because, so, what I'm getting at is, I'm hoping to see his character development and seeing a change in Riven, or somewhat of a change in Riven in the next season. Because as you heard him say, he said when Sky was like, why do you keep hanging out with Beatrix? She's bad news. And he was like, I hang out with Beatrix because she is the only person I can be with who likes me for me and does not try to change me. And, you know, obviously Sky felt some type of way because he was like, boy, I don't try to change you. I literally kind of just let you do what you want. He shouldn't do that. Like, he should tell Riven when he's in the wrong. But, like, I feel like he, you know, was more so hanging out with Beatrix because he can be his low and dirty bad boy self around her. Sadly, I just hope he gets character development so I can simp in peace.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, Sky, not Sky, Riven is definitely the most true to his character, even down to his his plot line. Like, in the shop, he's messing with the tricks, and he's Beatrix.
Oh, yeah, because he sure was trying to get with Darcy in the animated series at first.
Yeah. So, even down to, like, his plot line, it was very much the same. Like, he was, you know, that shoddy little asshole inside of the little core thing that I can't remember the name of right now. And he was causing trouble everywhere he went, you know, provoking Sky a little bit. Even though they did have like that brotherly like foundation, he was just like, he was rude. He was a bully. He, like we said, he tried to bully Terra. He tried to comfort Dane, which was very, very homophobic in the beginning.
You hate to see it.
Even like he was rude. Even though Stella was like Stella, he's a little rude to Stella. Like,
just a little bit.
He was kind of messing with Bloom. Like, he didn't know how to sit down. He was mean, and I'm not gonna say he was a bad person, but
I feel like I'm not gonna lie. Like, currently, I feel like it's deeper than what we see it as, and I feel like we'll probably learn more about whatever they added in for his backstory next season. Because there's just no way he's just naturally an a-hole Like there's no way you're this much, and then you add homophobia, a little bit of homophobia into the mix. Like, no, definitely, you got something more borderline going on, and and you know, I like to have in my head, I'm like, maybe he's bi, because he was pushing Dane a little too much in terms of like, are you gay, or do you like me? Like when he asked him, oh, who do you think about when you're, I was like, what straight man asks these questions?
Oh my lord, stop this hair gesture. But
Yeah.
I think with we're talking about like his role in terms of what's happening with the school, and honestly, I think Sky's dad is, I don't think he's gonna become like Sky's dad's number two. If he does become Sky's dad's number two, it's going to be because Sky's dad is trying to, you know, make up time for Sky and bring Sky in this position, and Sky's gonna be like,
no nigga,
I don't like that. And then Riven is going to be raised in the ranks, and I think it's going to be a situation where like Sky's dad is pushing, you know, Sky to like be that number one, but it just happens that Riven is more compatible with Sky's dad, and maybe Sky might get a little jealous. You know, you never know. We'll see.
I see it.
We'll see where it takes us. Like I said, hopefully we get some of the other specialists. You know, justice for Timmy, justice for Brandon. I feel like there's another specialist that I'm forgetting.
Timmy, Nabu, Aisha's boy. He wasn't really a specialist, but like he kind of rolled with them. It's Nabu, Aisha's little betrothed. And there's also one more that was introduced like later. He's in this animated series. Like he's black with blonde hair. I forget his name. I know he's not Aisha. He's from Aisha's planet. I know that much.
Yeah. But like we said, justice for Timmy and Brandon. They deserve to be here.
Literally.
Hopefully we get all of that next year. Not next year. Next season. Probably next year. But next season. Since we are, you know, we're getting Flora, we're getting Techna. Like you can have Techna without Timmy. Techna without Timmy.
They were made for each other.
I don't even remember did Flora have a partner?
Helia, that's who we were forgetting.
Helia.
There we go. I was like, that's who we were forgetting. Helia. I'm like, I know there's one more, and we were forgetting him. It's Helia. Okay, yeah.
Hopefully,
you know, give us all of them. Give us all.
All or nothing.
Period.
All or nothing.
Now.
Yeah, hopefully we get some of the new ones. They'll come in with like this new administration, and they'll be like kind of bad at first, but then, you know, they'll fix them up. We'll never see. You know, maybe Netflix will see this video and snatch your ideas.
Now, real quick, because we're kind of running low on time, so what we're going to do is we're going to like combine talking about Beatrix and the two new characters, Beatrix and Dane, and then we'll, you know, say our final pieces on like our actual overall opinions on the show as a whole, and then we'll be done. Now, as for Beatrix and Dane, I really do not have much to say on Dane, because like, for as much as he was on screen, we do not know anything about him other than he is gay, has a crush on Riven, was kind of timid at first and scared to do that stuff, and then like he changed after he was hanging out with Beatrix and Riven. Now, as for Beatrix, I think, because, you know, she's supposed to be like, you know, the trick, so to speak, I think she did the tricks justice. Like, she was a proper little villain. I really liked her. I like that she was, like, it's everything that I love to see in a villain. Someone who's manipulative, someone who knows what they're doing. Like, they're not making stupid little mistakes here and there. I mean, the only mistake she had was, like, trusting all the freaking girls. And then, you know, she got pushed into the trap and was paralyzed for all of that, like, 5 minutes and whatever the case may be. But I will say her and Riven are raised to each other, because I'm not going to lie. Beatrix, I see where she's coming from, and come to find out, I don't know how true this is. Beatrix isn't even a fairy. Apparently, she's a witch. And apparently that, like, 'cause you know that town that got decimated where she was from, how they said everybody there was blood witches, and that's where she was from. So everybody's kind of assuming, okay, maybe she's a witch, not a fairy, which kind of makes sense, because, like,
witches?
Yeah, like, it kind of makes sense, because, you know, I mean, not all witches were villains, though, but, like, you know, it makes the most of sense. But that's all I really got to say on them. I can because like I don't really have anything I disliked for Beatrix, and the only thing that I dislike about Dane is his choice in men, but I can't really talk. I don't like how he was kind of cooning it up in the end. I don't like it. He switched up on his friends for Riven and Beatrix, and he seems like where he's at right now, he will do anything to feel accepted by Riven and Beatrix, or more so be accepted by Riven, because you know he has that little crush on him. But like I don't like that, so to speak, because it's like you kind of like dumped your really nice friends for this bad boy and this bad girl who are kind of steering you in the very much wrong direction. And it's like you're at the point where like it just looks like you will do anything. Like you were about to break Beatrix out to get what you needed, and I'm just like, for what? But that's all I gotta say on those two.
Yeah, really quick, I don't have really much to say about Dane. He was just kind of there. I was like, oh, cute representation. Woo!
Yeah.
But like, other than that, like he wasn't doing much. What I will say about Beatrix though is, she came and did what she had to do.
She was eating.
She did. She really was. She was such a good, she was such a good villain. Like, I was just like, dang, girl, like, you really out here doing it, huh? And,
she came, knew what she wanted.
Yeah, she was that Trix equivalent, and that is exactly what she did. It was cool to see, like, very much so how, like, the Trix always pushed Bloom into like her change, her evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And Beatrix kind of definitely like poking Bloom and making her
definitely
learn more. Yeah, that's pretty much it about Beatrix. I could go on. We could go on and on about Beatrix.
Yeah, because she's a pretty good villain. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I hope she has like a bigger role.
A high five. The actress deserves a high five. Did her very well. Yeah, I think she could be a witch also.
Yeah.
I think she very much is probably a witch. I'm curious to see if it's just gonna be her, or if maybe they're gonna bring in like two other homies, but I don't think they will.
Yeah. And now for our overall opinions on the show. I will say, overall, I really did enjoy the show. I did not think that I would enjoy it. Obviously, like, before the show actually dropped, I was talking mad shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And Netflix, they made me eat my words. I cannot tell a lie about this, because I went in thinking I was not gonna like it, because there were a lot of things in the trailers that I didn't like. I'm not gonna lie, the trailer didn't really do it much justice as an actual Winx Club fan, but I can literally tell you, like, so many people who didn't know what Winx Club was would say they watched the trailer and they actually really, would enjoy the show. Whereas for, if you watch Winx, obviously while watching the trailer, you're comparing every single little thing to the OG series, which is something that I sadly did, but I did not want to be one of those people who was like, oh, I'm not going to watch it, it's trash, and talk all that shit without actually watching it and formulating my own actual opinion on the show. So like I said earlier, like, overall, I really did enjoy it. I thought that I wasn't. However, it's a really enjoyable show, and if you have not seen it, I do suggest it. Especially, like, if you don't know what Winx is in general, I actually would say watch this show first and then go watch the original Winx, because then, you can compare it that way, because I feel like you'll be more deterred from watching it if you've watched the original Winx first and then came to this one.
Yeah. I did really enjoy the show. I'm very much so. I'm a mystery gal.
Power.
I'm a mystery gal. My favorite cartoon was Scooby Doo. I like picking things apart. I like watching people pick things apart to get to their next step. Whatever. So this show was actually it actually ended up being like a good match for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's giving me a little bit of like. I like House of Anubis. So this
I
is a
know what you
compliment.
mean.
Giving me House of Anubis energy, but that's a compliment because I enjoyed House of Anubis. Yeah, I like that being said, like just give this show a try because it's actually a very good show if you're not sitting there constantly being like, this is how it was in the show, and this is how it was. Now I don't want to keep like repeating stuff that Jonathan says. So what I will say is something that was very, something that's very like strange to me was just that even if it was like a different tone, like I still kind of like expected the whole place to be I forgot the name of the college, to be like feel otherworldly. Yeah, I expected Althea to kind of feel like otherworldly, even if it was a more like serious tone.
Mm-hmm.
They had weed, they had Snapchat, they had Instagram. They were talking about Huda Beauty. I was like, well, okay.
Don't even get me started on them fucking Instagram names.
Yeah. What was it?
Crimea Riven.
Crimea Riven. Blooming 84 or something. Crimea Riven 8.
Crimea Riven took me out. I was like, these Instagram names. I was like, y'all couldn't come up with nothing better. I was like, y'all could have paid me. I could have came up with better names than this. Like, no, this was not it.
Yeah, that, and also that something that was like really random and strange is that Farraghanda's name was Farrah Dowling, and I was like,
yeah, it was kind of weird.
That was the reason, but it's not too big.
Yeah.
Also, I will say, her wings are fire.
I don't like how they shrunk. Like, I understand, like, the original Winx, like, their wings started off small, but I don't like how, like, they made it out to be, when she originally transformed, the wings were, like, really big, and then, like, the second she hit the ground, they shrunk and got smaller. Like, I'm gonna assume maybe they'll grow when she's actually flying, because we didn't get to see her fly, but, the transformation was I was hoping for clothes changing, but, it was fire.
I feel like maybe like later down the line, hopefully, because the transformation was it was a little similar. Like they had a little with the swirling going up.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully in the future something will happen where like it's not just the wings, it's the whole fit. And we didn't think we were gonna get a transformation. We didn't think we were gonna
we didn't.
When we got it, I was like,
it was actually really shocking. I'm kind of glad that wasn't spoiled. I was like, oh, we're actually getting a transformation on it. That's actually pretty nice.
Like, it was a tiny bit underwhelming just because of, like, we didn't get everything that we came for.
Yeah.
But it was still a good thing. I really like, to wrap it up again, I really like the show. And, yeah, it was good. Watch the show.
Please give it a chance. Like, even if you watch this review, please do not take this review at face value, because these are our opinions. This is not things that we don't take every single person, any creator says as a fact, unless it actually is a fact. Like, if someone says something is bad, don't not watch it yourself. Like, try your best to formulate your own opinion. I highly encourage so many people to do that. But that's all for today. I do want to thank Miss Lena for coming out today and doing this review with me and waking up at the ass crack of dawn to watch the show with me. But that's all, and as per usual, you will all see it. Another video on Monday, and I will have a new schedule up. If you are in my Discord, you will see exactly what my schedule is with streaming and posting and stuff like that. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!